Tom Tanuki did a good video. It's not a classic by any means. It's not classic comedy. He's not capable of that. But there's some funny bits with Sam Newman, the walking Madame Tussauds exhibit. Poor old Sam. Um, uh, Interesting sort of comments. In the comments section, I pointed out that Sammy J's skit, mocking the Greens, had a bit of an overture. That's a long running one. It's been a conventional critique of the Greens and environmentalist activists generally, that they are sort of Nazis. There is a history of sort of fascist eco-fascism. You hear plenty of talk about that, a lot of it pretty wild. Michael Moore was accused of that. For the Planet of the Humans, a must-see documentary. And eco-fascism, there is a strong connection between environmentalism and fascism. Um, Only a minority, but it's there, and it's been exploited by what you call normie conservatives, um, who are who have obviously said, the real Nazis are the Greens, environmentalists are Nazis. It's a common disparagement, and I made the point to Tanuki that this is a well-worn trope. And Sammy J, I think, was insinuating that. Now, I don't think that this Sammy J guy, I don't watch the ABC skit shows. I haven't watched that. Probably watched Will Anderson, the Gruen show, probably about 11 or 12 years ago since I've watched anything like that on the ABC. A long time. So I don't even know who this Sammy J bloke is, to be honest. He looks like Andy Dick. And and I did point out this out, and Tanuki wouldn't have a bar of it. He says that he just doesn't know what he's doing. Sammy J doesn't know what he's doing, or maybe, but it's a common thing with artists, and he is an artist, especially in comedy, to put little bits and pieces in um, as a provocation sometimes. I think Sammy J, he doesn't believe the Greens are Nazis. He's not like a Piers Ackerman type. He doesn't genuinely believe it, but he'd know about it, and he'd do that to provoke a response. Um, because Pete Evans has sort of gone a bit Nazi recently. You can all look that up. He's gone crazy. His almonds are activated, but his brain's been deactivated. Poor old Pete, a little bit, and so he's gone a bit Nazi, and that's where the activated almonds. It was 10 years ago. I looked it up. It's a meme. Um, it's actually a well-known meme now, but that was nearly 10 years ago. The Sunday Age. He's all talking about his activated almonds and his emu burgers or something like that. It's very over the top, and he's gone a bit fascist, a little bit. Pete Evans. So Sammy J would be aware of that. He doesn't genuinely believe it, but he would know about it, and he would add the activated almonds thing into the green skit to sort of make that connection. And also the big hippie guy eating the corn cob, he said sad, sad. I pointed that out to. So the Trump is America's Hitler, supposedly, the closest thing so far. And so he's made the connection there to the far left and the far right. And he'd know Sammy J. Maybe he's not a genius, but they know which buttons to push, and they do it to add a sort of a little bit of a frisson or a sort of a bit of spice add a little bit of chili powder to the comedy. It'd be very bland otherwise. And in the little video I'm making fun of Tanuki, the previous one, I added a little bit of a Donna Summer. He works hard for the money, some hard for it, honey. I didn't give the exact lyrics, but I did reference that. And a lot of people, if someone, say an 18 or 19-year-old, say, hypothetically was listening to that, they wouldn't get the reference. But if you're a little bit older, like me, you would. And or listen to a lot of sort of classic radio, WSFM in Sydney, that sort of thing. And so I added that, and a lot of people just wouldn't understand it, wouldn't get it. And that's what artists do, especially in comedy and even serious stuff. They put little bits and pieces in here just to add a little bit more flavour, add a little bit of spice to what's going on. But Tanuki doesn't understand that. He just sees if he doesn't understand it, and he's sort of a very mediocre average IQ mind, in his little Antifa mind, if he doesn't see it, it's not there. And if other people see it, well, they must be a conspiracy theorist. So these Antifa guys, I thought they were a bit malevolent, but maybe they just don't understand things. Tanuki doesn't get comedy. The last video was all right, but he's not a comic genius, and I don't think he understands comedy on a deeper level. Or politics. That goes to all the Antifa guys. They just don't get it. They can't put the pieces of the puzzle together. And when people do put the pieces of the puzzle together, they're great resets or anything else, vaccine stuff, vaccine mandates, they can't quite put the puzzle together. And when people do, they think, well, that must be a conspiracy theory. I don't see it. I can't put the puzzle together. And the people that are must be conspiracy theorists. That's how they see the world. They don't understand it. They can't analyze it in a materialist or historical fashion. And so they don't understand what's going on. So it's a conspiracy theory. Their inadequacies are being foisted on the people who can understand stuff. And that's a bit sad, but that's sort of their problem. They can sort of foam at the mouth all they want, but people who do understand and can put things together, whether it be comedy or politics, will continue to do that. And they can scream sort of conspiracy theorists or disinformation and whine and that, and carry on like that, about that. But we're just going to keep on keeping on and analysing it in a proper manner. And if they can't do it, then that's actually their problem and it's not ours.